Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the American Tier 8 Premium Heavy Tank, the T77. Now obviously this was a tank that a lot of people earned back in one of the previous season passes, and it's a tank that's pretty decent. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. I kind of enjoyed playing through it. And if you haven't guessed by the title, as always, this is the third mark video for the tank. So it's the game before, well, this game isn't the game before, this is quite a while before, but there's this game and then the third mark game. And yeah, generally this tank is just like the Sergeant Slaughter, but worse, because, well, the Sergeant Slaughter is basically OP. T54E2, that is. So, yeah, I think it's just the more balanced version of it. And I kind of enjoy it. The mobility on this tank is definitely something that's great. And, yeah, it's something that you want to make the most of. So, in terms of a crew, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Trap Mechanic, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, and Smooth Ride. I add that to the powertrain, and this tank gets up to its top speed really quite easily. It gets, beyond 50. It's great. And the mobility is one of the key factors in the reason that I like this tank, because the armor's not that great. Like, the turret armor's poo. Like, it is a mini T57 Heavy, but it doesn't really have the armor of a T57 Heavy, because the T57 Heavy, right, that has armor. It has a good upper plate, lower plate's Garbo, but, that's supposed to be the weak spot. And the turret is good except for the turret cheeks. So the turret cheeks are the weak spot, but if you are on a ridgeline or anything and they hit above the turret cheeks, they're going to bounce. This tank doesn't even really have that, because the upper plates, I've still been penned quite a lot in the upper plate, and the lower plate, well, the lower plate is garbage, and the turret armor just gets wrecked all the time as well. So that can be a bit of a pain, but like I said, the mobility of it, the ability to get round and flank is great. The damage output in how quickly it puts out the clip is fantastic for 360, to 2 seconds. The problem is how derpy it is. As you see, we miss 2 shells there. This tank loves a good miss, right? It absolutely loves it. It loves to just go, you know what, that shell right there that I was just going to pen, no mate, I'm just going to miss. And so you end up just missing your shots. It's pretty annoying. And that's one thing that I feel like the Sergeant Slaughter doesn't do, whereas this tank does it a lot. I mean, I think the accuracy for the two tanks is pretty much the same as well. It's just the dispersions. It just loves to not hit where you're aiming. So in this game on highway, we've taken the town. And we've loaded the heat rounds right now to go through the lower plate of the 100, because with our APCR rounds, especially with the way it was angled, we probably wouldn't have penned. And the heat rounds at like 300 pen nearly are absolutely fantastic. That is something that is great for the tank, and the fact that you can just load those heat rounds and you're going to be able to pen most tier 10s wherever you want to pen them, which is great. Obviously the problem with it being a heat round is that, yeah, it will just get absorbed by spaced armor, and that can be painful. In terms of the rest of the equipment I run on the tank, by the way, I run the powertrain because the extra horsepower is needed, and 5% horsepower is great, and don't underestimate it. It helps a lot, and it pushes the tank along fine up to its top speed. But as well as that, I run vert stabs and optics, because like I said, the gun handling is derpy. You want the vert stabs to make your accuracy 20% better. It's just, you need it. And optics, because, well, you don't want to be blind. So optics with Born Leader and Situational Awareness, you'll have great view range. So we're coming out of the town, and we're going to try and get some damage into those that are attacking our base. Well, I say attacking our base. It is team destruction. So we don't actually have a base. So we don't technically have to go back and defend the spawn, because there's not a cap for them to cap. So I'm not as worried about it. I just need to be able to get shots on them, because obviously where those two medium tanks are at the minute is a very vulnerable position. I can get good side shots into them. Unfortunately, the position I'm in also is a very vulnerable position, because if they've got people where, like that Tiger 2 is, they're going to be able to shoot me and hurt me, and that is not what we want. So we're just going to get down low, try and get below the gun line of where the Tiger 2 might be able to shoot us. And now I'm unspotted, I'm just trying to see if I can get a shot into the side of this CS52 Lease who's attacking our friends. So we get one in, we get two in, and I'm just hoping the gun doesn't derp, and he actually gets shut down, which is great. I managed to auto-aim onto that tank down there, and I couldn't quite see where the shot is, but we do manage to snap the shot into the Type 59-2, and we get the perfect clip out, which is great. We end up bouncing a shot there. I don't even think we've bounced. I think we just got hit by HE from something back there. So we're going to go after these two heavy tanks now. We're up to 3k damage, which is great. Good driving coming up. Wonderful. I think at that point I was trying to join Randy's party, so I wasn't actually focusing on the game. And we crashed into that because, you know, my driving is absolutely excellent. Hey, what have I said about that? Don't doubt my driving. Hecklers at the back of the room, God. So, we come up on this Type 59-2. We've got a full clip in. That poor guy had no chance. He managed to bounce on us. What was I saying about the Armour earlier on? We've managed to bounce, you know, a couple of shots, which is pretty nice. And we're up to nearly 4k damage. The Type 59-2 got wrecked. And we're now going to go in on this Tiger 2. Most likely I'm going to get this Tiger 2 because we still have a lot of ammo left. And there's still quite a bit of the enemy team left. So it's debating what I want to do right now. I'm thinking, you know what, I'm going to get this Tiger 2, I'm going to go up, I'm going to try and get the artillery, because that's just what I want to do. Because then I can try and get up the 1-2 line and get up behind them, because our team is sort of turtled in a good position along the 7 line. And then as we're coming up, we spot this Draugen. It's like, oh, hello, Mr. Draugen, how's it going? I'm just going to drop my clip in. So, 1, 2, can we get the third one in? No, but we'll finish off the Tiger 2, don't take any damage from him. I'm going to swivel around to put the frontal armour towards the Draugen in case he drives around the corner, which he does, but he's running away, so we're quite fortunate in that. And we are up to 4.6k damage with 640 assistance. And so far, we're on for a massive game. Now, there is a problem. Have you seen how long... This is at the time there was a bug with the kill feed. Have you seen how long that T92 killing the tortoise is on the left? It's been there for a little while. And I didn't realise at the time, and now I'm going for the artillery, right? And I'm thinking, wait, has the artillery just fired? I look to my left. Yeah, he's killed the tortoise, look. Cool. I can just yell around, drop my clip in, kill him, and then I can carry on moving, because I want to keep moving to get behind the enemy team. Ah. Yeah, the kill feed was bugged, so the T92 had fired it long ago, and he one-shots us. But hey-ho, the team carried it out, and we got 4 kills, 5k damage, ace tanker, and we came top of the team with 1900 base XP. Really nice game for the T77. It was a really annoying end, though, with the kill feed bug. Thank God that's not around. I literally, because I hadn't paid attention to that kill feed, because it had changed just before I'd looked, you know, it sort of flickered away. I think the Ferdinand had got killed. I went, oh, you know what? T92 was just fired. We can shoot at him, kill him, and then just keep ourselves moving so we've got the momentum to carry on and go after the rest of the team and get behind them. We're looking at a game where you're probably thinking, like, I could have like 7k in a tier 8 here. This is going to be amazing. But no, we got 1450 one-shot by the T92. Pain. Pure pain. So we're on to the second game, and this time we're on El Haloof, and I'm going to go up to the normal position that I'd like to take in a tank with good gun depression. I mean, generally, this position over here is good for tanks that have got 7 to 10 degrees of gun depression, or more than that, really, if you're thinking like the Swedish heavies. And at C2, that means you can get hull down, you can shoot people crossing the A line, sorry, not the 1 line, and potentially get shots at light tanks that are yellowing around down here. So I'm just keeping my eye out here, because I'm thinking, well, if these guys give me free shots, I'm going to take it, because at this point I was at like 94.8, I think. Like, the last game put us up nearly to our second mark. This game was the third mark one. Because I think I used some of the replays that were closer to this third mark in a previous video somewhere along the line. So yeah, I'm at like 94.8. This is before the MOE changes, and I thought, well, I probably need about 3.5k. If I get about 3.5k damage, I'll have it easily. Because I think at this point it was about 2.7, put you up about 0.3, 0.4. Because, again, it was not too long after everybody had earned the tank, so it was quite low. And taking free shots at people is exactly what you want. So this T77, I took the risk. Fortunately enough for me, he bounces his clip. But I ended up getting my first shot into him and tracking him in place. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to take the risk. I'm going to drop the last 2 shells in and risk him penning me maybe once or twice. Fortunately enough for me, because I pulled myself back behind this little ridgeline and cliff face on my right, it made it so it was a really awkward angle for him to shoot at, and he ended up bouncing on me like 2 or 3 times. Realistically, all he had to do was actually shoot through my turret and he would have penned it, but he went for the hull, so he ended up bouncing off the extreme angle. Unfortunately, we missed the shell there on the UDES. I would put it down to a derpy gun, but really it was just a poor shot because we had no chance of hitting that guy. And I'm just waiting to see if this medium tank is going to drive around the corner. Now, this is just where patience is a little bit key, because I want to make sure they're going to pull around the corner before I decide to move in. But then I finally get bored and pull out. But just as I go, of course, the UDES Alt 5, whatever it is. Is it UDES 16 Alt 5? UDES 14 Alt 5, there you go. Pulls around the corner as I was coming off the cliff face. That timing, right? That timing. But we managed to finish off the T29 there. And that's where it's really annoying, because you think, oh, I'll be patient, I'll be patient, I'll be patient. And I think, okay, I'm bored now. Like, they're not moving, I'm going to go. And then someone does something like that where they just YOLO out in front. And you're like, well, if I just stayed where I was, I could have dropped my clip in. It's really sad. Unfortunately for us, the UDES 14 Alt 5 drops off the cliff and ends up finishing himself off. And now, because I know I've got my team following in behind me, I'm just going to go straight in on this Atomic, drop the clip in, give him a little nudge with a ram, and then swivel round, pop our last shot in, and he gets finished off. Now I'm reloading again. We're up to 2.7k damage with 416 assistance. I know this is going to put me up, and probably one more clip will end up getting me enough to get the 3rd mark. And there's still, you know, a couple of tanks left. There's 5 tanks, well, 4 and 1 artillery anyway. And they're all towards our base. There is only their medium tank that's at G2 that's attacking our base. I'm probably not going to get anywhere near him. But I want to get into a position where I'm going to be able to shoot at these light tanks on the 8-9 line and this TD, because there's no one else really here at the minute that's going to be able to shoot at them. So, except for the light tank, they're my potential damage. So, we're going to drive up upon this LTTB and VK2801. And I'm just, because I'm full health, I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to drive at full speed in. I'm not going to take any care. And we drive out, take the hit from the Bison. Like I say, I'm full health, I don't care. We're going to see if we can get a shot into the M40-43, because, like I say, at this point, I'm sort of playing it less careful, because I know that one more clip will probably guarantee me the mark. We managed to snap the shot into the VK2801 on the move, free-aimed, finish him off, up to 3.2k damage, 416 assistance, that's what, 3.6k. And I'm looking at this going, there's the light tank and the artillery. We know where the artillery is, we know where the light tank is. At the rate it's going, I'm not going to be able to get another shot into this light tank or the artillery. But, fortunately enough for us, not the LTTB, the Vanguard is reloading. So we come up against this LTTB, we're reloading, we auto-aim, we bounce. Don't auto-aim your shots, kids. You'll end up bouncing off of LTTBs. We finish him off, then we pull up, get the full pen into the M40-43, and then we pose for the finish, waiting for him to get finished off. Awkward finish. There we go. Tiger 1 finishes on him 40-43. We finished 3.6k damage, 416 assistance. That's 4k combined. 4 kills, 4k combined, 1,380 blocked. First class high caliber, and the 3rd mark of excellence in the T77. Yeah, the T77, it's a pretty decent heavy tank. It's not the best, it's not the worst. I'd say it's pretty balanced, to be perfectly honest. And it's one that I did enjoy playing through. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!